my crafty friends, this is Monica from Allsewpetite. Welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create this adjustable webbing strap. This type of strap is very durable, it is very quick to make, and if like me you don't have matching hardware, so your hardware is different size, you can use those beautiful cork, vinyl, for leather connectors to use whatever hardware you have on hand. So when you make a beautiful crossbody bag or backpack and you want to try different colors of straps, or you want to change the strap based on your mood or the color of your outfit, you can always make few of them in literally few minutes and add it to your project. So if this is something you would like to learn, then keep on watching. To make this adjustable strap, you will need about 2 meters of webbing of your choice. I'm using webbing that is 3.2 centimeters wide. You will also need to cut 2 connectors from non-fraying fabric, such as cork, vinyl or faux leather. You can find various different types of templates on the internet. Otherwise, I have a separate video tutorial showing you how to draft your own templates in any size and any shape that you want. So I'm going to link that video in the description box below. Make sure you are using fabric that is sturdy enough, because this is the most stress area. So here we're going to add the swivel hook, and this is where you're going to attach your strap to your project. So when you are using your project, depending if it's a bag or a backpack, and depending on the size of your project, this area here will have to hold a lot of weight. So you want to make sure that your connector is strong enough and it doesn't rip while you are using your bag or backpack. In situation when you are using quite lightweight or slightly stretchy fabric, you can always double the amount. You can always cut 4 of those connectors, glue 2 of them with wrong sides together to just double the amount, and this will become 1 connector. Otherwise, if you don't want to double the amount, because then it's going to be too thick, you can use stabilizer such as Decovil Light or Decovil Heavy. Cut a little rectangle like this and fuse it or glue it or even stitch it to the back of the fabric. So this way, when you finish stitching your strap, this middle portion has enough stability, enough strength, so you don't have to worry about your connector breaking and ripping at the later stage. Another option is to use some sort of ribbon or hem stabilizer. So here I have this ribbon that I like to use whenever I'm sewing clothes. So what I would do is to just cut a small piece and again glue this to the back or stitch it just in a center to ensure that my fabric is nice and sturdy. So as you can see, you have different options to try. You will also need 1 strap adjuster. This has to be the same width as your webbing. 1 rectangle ring. Again, this has to be the same width as your webbing. As a side note, if you don't have a rectangle ring like this, you can use a strap adjuster and remove the middle bar. So here I have a strap adjuster with a middle bar that is removable, because as you can see, the ends are bended around. So I can take pliers and just unbend those edges and remove that middle bar. Otherwise, if you are in a pinch, you can always use a regular strap adjuster like this one. This is how this regular strap adjuster look like if you don't have a rectangle ring. So it looks pretty nice as well. And then you will need 2 swivel hooks. The size of the swivel hook needs to be exactly the same as the middle portion of your connector, because remember, we're going to fit that through, and you want to make sure the middle portion of your connector and your swivel hook match. Otherwise, it's going to bunch up and yeah, it's not going to look as pretty. So that's why it's always best to draft your own template based on the size of your hardware. This is optional, but you can also use a couple of rivets to anchor your connectors in place. So if you are using rivets, make sure you have tools to set them in on hand. So I have my hand press here. You will also need some clips to just hold things in place. And lastly, you may need a multi-surface glue or double-sided tape. To begin, take your webbing and cut one piece that is about 35 to 45 centimeters long. Then you're going to take your rectangle ring. This ring needs to be the same size as your webbing. So next you can feed your webbing through the rectangle ring and fold it in half. If you want, you can take this to the machine now and baste those 2 edges together. To prevent the webbing from unraveling, as you can see here, what I like to do is to just cut it and use a lighter to burn the edges. This will work on a webbing that is made out of polyester or nylon. I'll leave it a second to cool it down. So now if I pull on it, those edges won't unravel, but if I left it as it is, then I could just simply pull and unravel the entire webbing. So you don't want that. Make sure whenever you are cutting your webbing, always burn the edges. Once you have this basted, you can place this aside for a second. Then take one of your connectors and your swivel hook. So if you are using double-sided tape like me, you can apply small strips of double-sided tape just at the center on the wrong side of the fabric. Keep it away from the edges and away from the middle portion, so you don't have to worry about stitching through the double-sided tape. Then you're going to feed your connector through the swivel hook, just like that. And next what we're going to do is to take our webbing and we're going to place it on top and fold the connector in half, just like this. So depending if you're using double-sided tape, glue, or maybe clips, if you want to use glue, you can apply some glue on the middle, in the center of your connector. Otherwise, you're going to take your webbing, line up everything, and use a couple of clips to hold everything in place. So do whatever it's easiest for you. So since I'm using double-sided tape, I'm going to remove the plastic cover now. So now I'm going to keep my connector straight, my swivel hook in the center, place the webbing on top. You want to make sure it is centered, and make sure the edges of your webbing aren't visible. So don't place it too low, otherwise it's going to end up showing. So you want to keep it somewhere in the center, just like that. Make sure everything is nice and straight. So I'm just going to fix that. There you go. Press it with your fingers so the double-sided tape sticks. Then fold the connector in half. So if you want, you can just hold it like this so you can see exactly where is the connector underneath. Make sure it is nice and aligned. Again, press it with your fingers. Here we go. Now we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to stitch around the connector and across it. If you want, you can stitch couple of lines in the center. Otherwise, install couple of rivets. Now you can take your remaining webbing, and what you're going to do is to wrap it around that middle bar of your adjuster. So what you can do is to take the end of your webbing, place it above the middle bar, then bring it back and feed it through the adjuster underneath that middle bar. So this is how it looks like. You are basically wrapping the webbing around that middle bar, just like that. So when you are ready, you can just place that down and fold the loose end of your webbing underneath. So again, you're going to fold it with wrong sides together by about 1.5 centimeters, just like that, and bring it on top. There you go. If you want, you can just use a couple of clips to hold everything in place. There you go. Then take this to the machine and stitch a little box just to anchor everything in place. Now you're going to take the remaining end of your webbing, feed it through the rectangle, just like this. Bring the other end closer, so make sure you have everything nice and straight. So keep your webbing straight, make sure it is not twisted. Then you're going to feed that loose end one more time through the strap adjuster. So again, we're going to feed it above the middle bar, bring it back and feed it underneath, just like that. Pull it through. So this is how you're going to create that adjustable strap, as you can see. So next, we have to just install the other connector with the swivel hook. So this is what we're going to do now. If you want, again, apply some double-sided tape on the back of the connector. Then you're going to take the swivel hook, feed the connector through the swivel hook. Here we go. Again, you're going to remove the plastic cover or add some glue here. If you are not using double-sided tape, place your webbing on top, fold it in half, and in the same way we've done on this one, you're going to stitch around, and if you want, add some rivets or stitch a couple of lines in the center. And just like that, you have finished your adjustable webbing strap. So go ahead and add it to your project. See you next time. Stay crafty, friends.